Did you know Johnny Depp once confessed he doesn't watch his own movies? It's a surprising truth from a man who has embodied some of the most iconic characters in modern cinema. The actor behind Captain Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, and Sweeney Todd prefers to stay behind the curtain, removed from the spectacle he helps create. There's something both humble and enigmatic about that, a trait Depp has carried throughout his roller coaster of a career that spans over 61 incredible years. In this deep dive, we'll unravel the story of a man who redefined what it means to be a movie star, flawed, brilliant, rebellious, and undeniably captivating. Born in Owensboro, Kentucky in 1963, John Christopher Depp II didn't start with dreams of Hollywood stardom. He was more inclined toward music. As a teenager, Depp picked up a guitar and never looked back, eventually joining a band called The Kids. The group gained some regional popularity in Florida, which gave them the push to move to Los Angeles, hoping to land a record deal. This musical passion remained a cornerstone of Depp's identity, even as acting eventually took center stage. It was in Los Angeles that fate intervened. Depp married Lori-Ann Allison, a makeup artist, in 1983. Through her, he was introduced to actor Nicolas Cage, who encouraged him to try his hand at acting. Depp followed the advice and landed an audition with director Wes Craven. That audition changed everything. Depp's acting debut came in A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, where he played Glenn, a teenager who meets one of the most memorable deaths in horror history, pulled into his bed by Freddy Krueger and engulfed in a geyser of blood. It was a brief role, but one that left a lasting impression. The film's success helped plant Depp's foot in the door, but he remained on the fringes of the industry for a few years, seeking roles that would allow him to grow. Then, in 1987, came the television show that made him a household name, 21 Jump Street. Cast as Officer Tom Hansen, Depp became a teen idol almost overnight. The show's popularity meant his face was suddenly everywhere, on posters, in magazines, on the walls of adoring fans. But with fame came frustration. Depp quickly grew disenchanted with the shallow nature of stardom, resenting the pigeonhole. The role created. He wanted more than fanfare. He wanted roles that challenged him, roles that allowed him to disappear into characters, rather than simply play himself. That yearning would come to define his career. The turning point arrived. In 1990, with Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands, in one of the most emotionally resonant performances of his career, Depp played a gentle, misunderstood creation with blades for fingers. The character barely spoke, but Depp conveyed volumes with his expressions and body language. The film wasn't just a critical and commercial success. It was the beginning of one of the most enduring creative partnerships in Hollywood. Depp and Burton would go on to collaborate on several films, each pushing the boundaries of visual storytelling and character exploration. From Ed Wood to Sleepy Hollow, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to Corpse Bride, Depp became the go-to actor for roles that required a delicate blend of eccentricity and heart. Among these collaborations, Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street 2007, stands out. The role allowed Depp to showcase another of his passions, music. Playing a vengeful barber in Victorian London, he sang his way through the dark, gory musical, earning a Golden Globe for Best Actor. It was a testament to his versatility, proving he could headline a musical and give it emotional gravitas. The film was both macabre and moving, and Depp was at the center of its magic. But the role that catapulted him into international superstardom was Captain Jack Sparrow in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, 2003. When Depp first stepped onto set with his drunken swagger, slurred speech, and rockstar-like demeanor, studio executives were panicked. They feared audiences wouldn't understand what he was doing, but Depp stuck to his guns, modeling the character in part after Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards. The result? A performance so singular and beloved that it turned a summer blockbuster into a billion-dollar franchise. Captain Jack became one of the most recognized characters in cinema, earning Depp an Academy Award nomination and securing his place in pop culture history. Behind the scenes, however, Depp's life was more complicated. As his fame grew, so did the pressures of the spotlight. He had high-profile relationships, including one with French singer Vanessa Paradis, with whom he shares 2 children, Lily Rose and Jack. For years, the family lived quietly in France. away from the constant media attention. But that peace wouldn't last. Depp's tumultuous relationship with actress Amber Heard began in the early 2010s, and by 2016 it had spiraled into a public legal battle. Heard accused Depp of abuse, which he denied. The couple's divorce and subsequent lawsuits dominated headlines, culminating in a 2022 defamation trial that gripped the world. The trial, streamed live, revealed deeply personal and often disturbing details about their relationship. Depp testified that Heard's accusations had severely damaged his reputation and career, saying he had lost nothing less than everything. Despite the legal turmoil, a massive wave of public support emerged for Depp. Hashtags like "Sadja Justice for Johnny" trended worldwide. Fans rallied behind him, believing in his innocence and demanding his reinstatement in major film franchises. In a 2024 interview at the Rome Film Festival, Depp addressed the ordeal with surprising grace. He spoke of learning from pain, forgiving those who wronged him, and moving forward with a clearer understanding of himself. His words reflected the humility of a man who had weathered immense storms yet refused to let bitterness define him. Amid the blockbusters, Depp's lesser-known performances also deserve praise. Donnie Brasco, 1997, in which he starred opposite Al Pacino, showcased a gritty, restrained side of Depp as an undercover FBI agent infiltrating the mafia. The emotional toll of leading a double life was portrayed with haunting depth. Finding Neverland, 2004, where Depp played J.M. Barrie, revealed his ability to convey vulnerability and childlike wonder. And then there's The Libertine, 2005, arguably one of his rawest and most challenging roles, where he portrayed the debauched poet John Wilmot with unflinching intensity. Though divisive among critics, the performance was a masterclass in risk-taking. Tim Burton once said of his frequent collaborator, "Johnny can act through silence. He speaks volumes with a single look." That ability, so rare in modern cinema, is part of what makes Depp special. He disappears into characters, loses himself in their worlds, and brings us along for the ride. He isn't just playing roles, he's creating entire emotional landscapes. In recent years, Johnny Depp has increasingly leaned into the rhythm and comfort of music, a realm that predates his Hollywood fame and remains one of the purest expressions of who he truly is. His return to the stage with Hollywood Vampires and the release of his solo album is not some celebrity side project. It's a profound act of artistic return, a reconnection with the part of himself that existed long before the cameras rolled, or red carpets beckoned. For Depp, music has always been more than entertainment. It is solace, truth, and unfiltered emotion. Long before he was Captain Jack Sparrow or Edward Scissorhands, he was a kid with a guitar in hand, trying to find his voice through chords and lyrics, rather than scripts and scenes. Hollywood Vampires, the supergroup formed alongside Alice Cooper. And Joe Perry has provided Depp with a platform to live out that original dream of being a rock musician. Their music, often a tribute to the rock legends of the past, feels like a spiritual homecoming for him. It's loud, it's raw, it's unapologetically vintage. And that's the point. While movie roles are layered with direction, wardrobe, and lighting, music strips all of that away. On stage with a guitar slung over his shoulder, Depp isn't interpreting someone else's vision, he's simply being. There's a kind of vulnerability in that, a willingness to be seen and heard as himself, no character, no costume. For fans who have followed his tumultuous journey through fame, scandal, and redemption, this reemergence through music is more than nostalgic. It's healing. The solo album, released in 2022, was an even deeper dive into the crevices of his soul. Featuring original songs as well as covers of tracks that influenced him deeply, the album felt like an open letter to the world, a diary set to melody. Critics noted the introspective tone of the lyrics and the haunting sincerity of his voice. It wasn't polished in the way pop albums are, nor was it trying to be. Instead, it felt lived in, weathered by experience, just like the man who wrote it. You could hear the heartbreak, the defiance, the longing for peace between the chords. The album didn't aim to climb charts, it aimed to connect, and in that, it succeeded. Music, for Depp, is also a form of communion. When he performs, it's not about the applause or the spotlight. It's about eye contact with the crowd, It's about the quiet moments between songs when the energy in the room shifts and settles, as if everyone is breathing in the same rhythm. There's a sacredness to it, one that contrasts sharply with the often manufactured nature of celebrity. On stage, Depp doesn't need to explain himself. He doesn't need to be justified or defended. He just is, and that is enough. This drive for connection is something that's bled into every part of his artistry. Whether in film or music, Depp is chasing a singular goal: to make people feel. He has always gravitated toward characters who live on the margins, who don't quite fit into the neat boxes society builds. From the melancholic isolation of Edward Scissorhands to the anarchic swagger of Jack Sparrow, his portrayals offer a mirror to the parts of us that feel strange, wounded, or misunderstood. It's no accident that so many of his characters become symbols for outcasts and dreamers. Depp doesn't just play these roles, he inhabits them, giving them a depth and dignity that insists on empathy. That ethos carries over into his music, where the themes of loss, resilience, and self-reflection resound just as strongly. The path back to music also allowed Depp a creative refuge during his most publicly scrutinized years. As legal battles and personal controversies flooded the headlines, the noise could have drowned anyone. But Depp turned inward, using music as a life raft, creating songs, collaborating with musicians, getting lost in the sheer act of making something. These moments offered him a peace that the public eye often refused to. When asked in interviews about how he coped, he often pointed not to grand statements but to small human acts: playing guitar with friends, writing lyrics that only he would understand at first, sitting alone with headphones on, letting someone else's songs speak for his own pain. And through it all, Depp has maintained a reverence for the imperfect. He's never chased technical precision or conventional success in his music. What matters to him is soul, grit, feeling. It's the same principle that's defined his acting career, prioritizing heart over polish, honesty over artifice. He doesn't try to be perfect. In fact, he often runs from it. To him, perfection is sterile, lifeless. Real beauty, real art, lies in the cracks, in the missed notes, the trembling voice, the tear that wasn't scripted. That philosophy has endeared him even more to fans who see in him not a flawless idol, but a fellow traveler through the complexities of being human. Even in interviews, when asked about his music, Depp rarely talks about fame or recognition. He talks about feeling. He talks about childhood memories, about the guitar that never left his side, about late-night jam sessions that turned into confessions. He talks about being a fan before being an artist, about his deep love for legends like Keith Richards and Bob Dylan, about studying their lyrics like sacred texts. This humility, this grounding in genuine admiration and raw expression, is what keeps his music real. It's never trying to impress. It's trying to connect. And maybe that's the most defining feature of Johnny Depp, not just as a musician or actor, but as a person. His career isn't about conquering industries, it's about communication. Whether he's on a billion-dollar movie set or an intimate dive bar stage, his goal is the same: to remind people that they're not alone, that brokenness can be beautiful, that strangeness can be strength, that stories, no matter how they're told, have the power to heal, to reveal, to bind us together. So when Depp strums a chord or croons a lyric into the mic, he's doing more than performing. He's offering something rare in today's world: authenticity, a moment of shared vulnerability, a message not just to his audience but to himself, that even in chaos there is art, even in pain there is song, and even in imperfection there is an undeniable, unshakable beauty. So what is it about Johnny Depp that continues to inspire such fierce and unwavering loyalty from fans around the world, even after navigating some of the most turbulent chapters a public figure can endure? The answer is multi-layered, much like Depp himself. His appeal transcends his roles, his accolades, or even the controversy. It resides in something more primal: his humanity. He has never claimed to be flawless, and therein lies his enduring resonance. In an era where celebrities are often manicured to perfection, constantly filtered and media-trained, Depp has always been raw, real. He wears his pain as openly as he does his success. And fans see that. They feel it. From his earliest performances, there was something disarmingly honest about Depp. He didn't act so much as he transformed. He wasn't just playing characters, he was channeling them, losing himself in their skin. That level of immersion, that kind of emotional bravery draws people in. When he portrayed outsiders, weirdos, or wounded souls, he did it with a kind of dignity that reminded audiences they too deserved compassion, even in their lowest moments. He didn't judge his characters, no matter how strange or morally complex. He understood them. And in doing so, he helped us understand ourselves. Beyond the screen, Depp's willingness to walk through fire rather than run from it has earned him a special place in the hearts of his fans. He has made mistakes, stumbled, and fallen in very public ways. His personal life has been dissected, criticized, and debated across headlines. But unlike many in the spotlight, he never tried to spin a sanitized version of himself. He let the world see him bruised. That kind of vulnerability, especially from a man in a culture that often demands stoicism, is powerful. It's rare. It's real. Depp's courage to pursue his own artistic instincts, no matter how unconventional or risky, also speaks volumes. He never bowed to commercial trends or easy fame. He turned down blockbuster roles in favor of strange, poetic films that allowed him to stretch and experiment. He took detours. He collaborated with eccentric directors, played morally ambiguous figures, and often veered away from the mainstream. Path most stars cling to for longevity. It wasn't always easy. He lost jobs, faced criticism, and watched as industry doors temporarily closed. But he never sold out. That kind of integrity is magnetic. People admire someone who sticks to their vision, no matter the cost. Perhaps most of all, Johnny Depp's journey is not one of untouchable celebrity. It's one of survival. He's endured loss, betrayal, public shaming, and professional exile. Yet he continues to create, to perform, to express. His story is about rising again, not in defiance of failure, but because of it. It's about finding beauty in the broken, strength in the strange, and grace in authenticity. And that's why his fans stay. Because in Johnny Depp, they don't just see a star, they see a mirror, a kindred spirit, a testament to the power of being unapologetically oneself. If you're exploring Depp's filmography, don't stop at Pirates or Alice in Wonderland. Dive into the indies, the passion projects, the films that didn't win box office glory, but revealed layers of his talent. There's so much to discover, so much to admire. And now, let's turn the spotlight to you. What's your favorite Johnny Depp performance? Which character struck a chord with you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's celebrate a man who's given us decades of unforgettable cinema, who's endured criticism and chaos and still emerged, eyeliner intact, ready to bring us the next chapter. If this video made you smile, think, or feel a rush of nostalgia, give it a thumbs up. Every like helps us keep the reel rolling. And for more cinematic deep dives, celebrity retrospectives, and behind-the-scenes magic, make sure to subscribe. And before you go, check out our next video. 10 movie roles that almost went to someone else. You won't believe who. You'll be stunned to learn how close we were to a world without Captain Jack Sparrow. Thanks for joining us on this cinematic journey through 61 unforgettable years of Johnny Depp. Here's to more stories, more characters, and maybe even more. Eccentric hats, stay curious, stay passionate, and as Captain Jack would say, bring me that horizon.